Good morning.
Good morning.
Sat with Liam. A very nice jumper, Liam.
Thank you, Caroline. Picked it
I
out.
like the penguins, the wee snowman. It's very Christmassy.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah, yeah. No, we were talking about mine, but you get it.
I get it.
You get it. Some people don't get it.
I'm not naming any.
No. Watch me whip, watch me slay. It's good. Watch me whip, watch me gaining. It amused me 3 years in a row for it. I think the time for only one. Right, now you have been described as one of the country's up and coming singers. For those who have never heard of you, would you maybe talk a little bit about your music and the style of music that you play?
Yeah. It's always such a hard question. I think I've said that to most people that ask that, because a lot of the time when you are up and coming, you're limited to what resources you have in the first place. So, I mean, right now I tend to play most gigs solo, acoustic on the guitar, and it's not necessarily, I love acoustic music, but it's not necessarily the exact style that I want to. I want to have the guitars and all that sort of stuff in it. And the instruments to be a sort of focal point as well, but it's difficult to say like specifically what sort of sound. I'm still trying to figure that out, and I think most people are trying to figure that out and progress as years go on. And things like
and we'll talk about some of your tracks in a bit as well. Now we were chatting about this, started singing age 4.
Roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
In the bath.
And probably everywhere around the house. I was never any good. It was always my twin brother that was the sort of the one that my mum and dad would look at and be like, "Oh, he's really good" or whatever. I'd be trying to copy him and they'd laugh at me. I always remember one time I was sitting like rocking back and forward singing this song. It was embarrassingly, because I can remember exactly the song as well. It was a Will Young song. I think I better leave right now or something like that. And I was rocking back and forward singing this, and I caught my mum and dad in the class at the door just gutting themselves laughing at me, so I was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. And then, so did you feel then you had to step it up a gear, because obviously you started then learning piano and acoustic guitar then when you were 17?
More guitar. I had relied on sort of like backing tracks and things like that, and it was just never what I wanted to do. Some people like doing that, but because I've got quite a deep voice and it's quite difficult to find the songs and my range and stuff like that, and I just thought I needed to be proactive and learn something to give me the freedom to play whatever I wanted to, and also write songs and things like that. So
what was the inspiration then to pursue that then as a career as opposed to anything else? Was there anything else that you thought, actually I'd maybe like to do that?
So many things. I was always one of those kids that wanted to be like something new every week. I wanted to be a doctor at one point, and then I realised I'm not quite clever enough to do that. No, I was always pretty good in school. I get good grades and things like that, but I think it was just I was terrible at being on time. I was late all the time, and it was just
fit with a GP.
Well, yeah, exactly true. And I don't know. I just think I struggle with like the regimented sort of hours and to be at a certain place, certain times and things like that. And I just loved singing. I loved music, and I knew when I had first got on stage the first time that I wanted to do it for as long as I can.
Yeah, so that was the kind of pinnacle point, right? This is what I want to do as a career.
Soon as because when I had first started putting up YouTube videos and things like that, it did. I mean, YouTube's changed a lot now. It's not quite as the algorithms, everything sort of changed, and not to get too technical, but everything changed, and the people that sort of done well a couple of years ago don't necessarily get the same hits that they used to. And it had been going really well, and I thought I've got something that people like, and it just gave me that confidence to keep going and get on stage.
Yeah, because there's a lot of covers, isn't there, on YouTube that you've put up from, and going back quite some years ago as well. There's some classics up there.
Well, it used to be a case of me finding like the popular song at the sort of moment and cover it and putting a spin on it or something like that, and putting it up. But I get fed up doing that, because I just don't. There's a lot of like music that I just don't think is great. If I look back on a lot of the covers, I cringe watching them. I'm embarrassed by them. But I think putting the covers up gave me the confidence to put up my own stuff.
Yeah, and it gave you footing and built in a following,
exactly,
because you have got a big following, to be fair to you, and those that followed you from quite a number of years ago as well, that are still kind of with you.
Yeah, there's still like a cluster of them that I recognise from like when I first started YouTube, and they've stuck. That's always really nice to see.
Now, you've described, you know, some of your musical influences being bands such as Coldplay, Fleetwood Mac. Codaline is a particular favourite of yours. Is there one that kind of stands out, or you think actually that's where I aim to be, to kind of follow along with them?
Just bands like Codaline, sort of solo acts. Like there's I don't know if you've heard, there's a guy, Lewis Capaldi, that's up and coming, and he's really good. I love his music, but he's also like, I think for me, I want to have success, I want to do well, I want to be recognised and appreciated in a sense for the music that I put out, but I don't necessarily want to be famous. It's not like a goal of mine. I think a lot of the younger sort of singers not that I'm old, but you know, a lot of the younger sort of up and coming singers are more focused on becoming famous and trying to sound like Ed Sheeran, or trying to like, and I just think the music's like more important than not to sound cliche and everything, but you know.
And I suppose you are very distinctive, Liam, when, you know, you could not be in a room with somebody, kind of hear your voice and instantly would know it is you.
I think that's, I was actually playing the other day, and a guy said that, he said like a really sort of unusual tone and things like that, but I think it's just because I don't try and copy other people's voices. I think I've always sang in my own style. And I think a lot of people try and copy, and like Ed Sheeran's a big one just now, and I think just there's a lot of people that instead of having their own individual style, they'll try and mould themselves into being someone else.
And there's already an Ed Sheeran out there, so
can't really be beaten.
And there's already a Liam Doyle, so nobody tried to be another Liam Doyle. Now, you released your debut EP, I Won't Let Go, in 2016 and reached number 12 in the singer-songwriter iTunes chart. How did it feel to get to the point of actually having material and then releasing the EP, and it to do so well?
Yeah, it was really, I'd had some of the songs for a while, and it's just, obviously there's like a money issue. It's really expensive to get songs recorded and released and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of it came down, the reason why I hadn't put it out before was just money, and so just trying to get them right and make sure that I knew what I was doing, and in hindsight now there's loads of things I would change, which is like anyone would tell you the same thing when they hear a song that they've done like 2 years ago or whatever, they would change it. But it was a really nice feeling to check it, to put it out and for people to actually like it. That's what you want.
Yeah, and you as an artist making kind of your mark and having it out there. How many songs, just out of curiosity, I'm always intrigued to know how many songs didn't make the cut? Is there quite a lot?
There was a few. There's a load of songs that I've written, like half of it, and then I'll come back. There was a song a couple of weeks ago that I listened to, and I don't know what I was thinking at the time. Like I'd written it, I thought, I don't like this, binned it, and then I came back, listened to the recordings, I was thinking, what was that? I really, really like it. So now I'm trying to finish that, but it's just, your mind changes so much. You can hear something one day and you're just totally not bothered, and then you can think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, and it's interesting you saying that you're going back to a song as well, you know, so I suppose even when they've not made the cut the first time round, I suppose there's that room for development.
And you change it and change lyrics and to suit your situation now, and just you're also thinking a lot about production and like making sure that you can perform the song acoustically when you need to, and also thinking about what sort of like things you can do production wise to make it stand out and things like that.
And it'd be fair to say, Liam, your tracks are fairly emotional,
Okay.
Kind of slower. They are.
I like
when
it,
the
really
contents of
decided.
the absolutely. You know, it's not kind of one that you're gonna start dancing late on the dance floor to. Absolutely. Yeah. And probably none other than the track "Fade Away," which you released as a charity single for Alzheimer's Scotland. Do you maybe want to talk a little bit about that track?
It was a song that I had written because I was kind of just, I knew that I wanted to write a song, and I'd went through like a period of time where I hadn't written anything, and I was just having a kind of brain I couldn't concentrate on it, and I sat down, I was just sort of brainstorming things, and then away from that I went away, I'd sort of not thought about it for a bit, and I was just talking to my mum about her granddad and things like that, and we were talking about him having Alzheimer's, and then I just kind of came up with a few words, and it went like from there. It was written, one of the easiest songs that I've written.
And it was written about your mum's.
My mum's got, he lived with us when we were younger, so he was like a granddad to us as well. And he lived in the house when he sort of took not so well. So he was like a constant sort of feature in our lives from babies till maybe a bit older. Yeah,
and I think the words in that track, that has probably been the only track to date, and you know that I've actually cried in the studio listening to it, because I think everybody is touched by Alzheimer's at some point, be it somebody you know, a family friend or whatever. But you know, so to kind of have that emotional impact and seeing actually the responses from people as well to that track, and was quite phenomenal.
I think it's like a song that's although it's about Alzheimer's, it could fit with like so many different things. So, and I made sure that I didn't write it too catered towards that. Like that's what it was about to me, but to somebody else it could mean something totally different.
Now, you know, was that quite well? Actually, we'll touch on another track actually, which again was a very emotional track though for you to write, was Laura.
It's that theme here.
We'll keep that. But absolutely, how, and actually, do you want to talk a little bit about that song actually?
So there was, when I was younger, maybe 15, 16, there was two friends that very, very closely had sort of committed suicide. They had, well, not sort of, they had committed suicide in the space of like 6 months. And both close friends. Laura was a friend from childhood, like from very, very young age, family friend, all that sort of stuff. So obviously that hit us really hard at the time. And it was strangely something that I hadn't really written about before. I had written that song. I had never been able to. I never really knew the words. Like, I knew how I felt, but I never really knew how to put them to paper. And then I just get again. These things just seem to come to you, like when you sort of not really expecting them, trying to force them out.
And did you find that quite therapeutic to be able to use songwriting as a way to kind of express, I suppose, your feelings around that as well? Such a tragic event.
It was nice to do it, and it was nice to give to the family as well, and they really liked it. I think making the video was just like a slideshow thing that I put, because I never sold the song or anything like that. I just put it up online, and it was making the video was harder because I was going through pictures and video clips and things like that, and I think that's when it really hit me what the whole thing was about, because you never forget, but after years go by, it kind of gets easier to deal with until something just sort of hits you. But it was nice. It was nice to give to the family,
and that was a track you recorded down at Abbey Road as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done any other one. I think it was like fitting for what it was.
Because of course you went to Abbey Road having won the Fame Strip Back competition, and that was obviously prize as part of that. So then to be able to record that track, which clearly meant a lot to you as well down there.
I couldn't have chosen another one. I don't think. I think it was that song, or I wouldn't have been. I think for the occasion, for going to Abbey Road for the occasion, and something that I'd wanted to do for a long time, I had to pick that. Yeah.
And what was that experience like being in Abbey Road? Now we've got a bit of a funny story about Abbey Road.
I remember actually told me before.
We went to visit Abbey Road studios and ended up at a completely different Abbey Road, which had a sign saying, "This is the wrong Abbey Road."
It's easy done.
I blame the navigator, who is your manager.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
Yeah. So that experience of being at the right Abbey Road for you then, being there, because obviously the Beatles famously, or lots of artists have famously recorded there in quite an iconic place.
It was, I remember because I was on a tour like a couple of weeks before, and I had went, like, actually before then, I'd went in like the April, I think, before that, and I'd went and you couldn't get through the gates, they're all like shut, not allowed through at all, and I remember standing at the gates and I was like, one day I'm going to be, I never knew it was going to be like 3 months down the line or something like that, but I just knew, I just felt like I would somehow blag my way in there, like somehow, and it was just really cool to show up and walk through the gates and people are standing there like thinking the same thing as me probably, and to be able to actually pass through the gates and walk up. I think walking up was more exciting than...
Yeah, were you like, see you later losers,
like,
I'm going in.
Yeah, I always remember there was a woman and I said, she was like, can we just, because she saw me go in, and she was like, can we just go in? She was, I think from Spain or something, and I was like, no, it's only people that are like invited, not in a harsh way or anything like that, but it felt quite good. Yeah.
So that's obviously been one of the standout moments, but you also toured with Nina Nesbitt, you performed at the Fringe, you got invited down to perform on the main stage at the Folk on the Dock in Liverpool just in the summer there, and supported Stephen McCrory amongst other things. Has there been a standout moment for you to date?
I'd done the O2 ABC and it was maybe 1,300 people or something like that, and it was just such a good atmosphere. I felt really comfortable on the stage, and I think in terms of like gigs, that was that stand out. But also King Tut's like supporting Stevie McCrory, the place was packed, and the crowd really got behind me as well, because it's hard when you're a support act and you're not the name that they're coming to see. I had a band with me, sort of like an acoustic band, so it was a wee bit fuller, but you find people just talk. I always say Adele could be on stage and if nobody knew who she was, no matter how good she is, people would just talk because they don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So that's always quite tricky, but the crowds are mostly pretty respectful, I would say.
Yeah, so that's been a standout one for you. Right, now we've spoken about some of your achievements, but it'd be fair to say June last year wasn't so good for you.
I was, I totally lost my voice. I think I'd just done the tour in London, the Coffee House session tour with Nina Nesbitt, and I was feeling really good, but my voice just, I think I'd played so many gigs in a short space of time, like after the tour when I came home, and a lot of 3-hour gigs, and just doing too much, I think, and my voice had just slowly started, I could feel like small effects, but I just thought it was overuse, it wasn't like anything to worry about. It was in June last year, and I think in hindsight now, it was a case of, it was stress. It was just like, I was really happy with everything that was going on, but I was stressed out as well, more stressed out than I had been, and there was a bit of pressure. There's always pressure, like what's the next thing that's coming, like you don't really take in what you're doing at the time, you're always thinking ahead to what's coming next, and I think in a sense it's been good for me, because it's made me realise that for one, like things can change so quickly, and also just to appreciate exactly what you've got at that time, and take things in and enjoy like the process of things getting better. Rather, there's no pressure that anyone else is putting on you, it's yourself.
Yeah, because obviously you did go and get the professional help with regards to your voice, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
And was that reassuring for you at that point, thinking actually this isn't all in my head to some degree?
Yeah, it was reassuring to hear that there was like problems. There was sort of there wasn't so much physical problems there. There's technical things that I'd been doing for a long time that weren't good for my voice. Although because I'm not a big rock singer or like somebody that sort of shouts when they sing. So I didn't really think that there was that I would be doing my voice any damage. But it was technical things that were playing a part of it, and then once that had got in my head, I'm a chronic overthinker. I just overthink everything, and I think that played a huge part. And I'm still, I mean, I'm feeling 10 times better than I did then, but I'm still working on getting fully over that. But I think everyone is self-critical. Everyone's got things that they don't like about themselves, and parts when I sing to you and you could think it was good, and for me singing, hearing it back, I would pull out every sort of part, and it's just something we all need to work on, I think.
Yeah, and I suppose that, at that time, and knowing you back then and seeing where you are now, your confidence has improved tenfold. You performed at Rockathon Glasgow, and then obviously you were in the heats for the Hard Rock Rising as well, and did incredibly well. UK second in a music competition, a really big music competition as well. So hopefully that then has kind of, you've been able to recognise actually that's where I was and this is where I am now, and your confidence haven't gone out.
It was the competition that I had entered. It was something that I had entered on the sort of, because I'm a bit funny about saying that, and I won a competition to go to Abbey Road and stuff like that, but I'm always quite dubious about entering things, and because you never really know what it is you're entering and the clauses and all that sort of stuff. But it looked really good, and I'd entered, and I totally forgot about it, and I got a phone call telling me that I had made the top 100. So I just kind of ran with it from there, and as time went on, the more I was getting determined that I really wanted to do well in it. It's a massive prize at the end of it. And I think to go back to my voice problems and things like that, I think the stripped back competition that I'd won last year, I think that played a part in things as well, because I let myself get so worked up and stressed about it. I think it was just a whole load of things that just combined, and so I was conscious of not doing that this time. And to come second, I'm chuffed. At £10,000 prize is massive for my music and all that side of things, so makes such a big difference.
And that'll take some of the stress off then, to kind of working and pushing for that financial aspect, because it is something that you want to do. So what then does 2018 have in store for you?
Definitely new material. I'm planning on being in the studio in February. February, beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March. I think I've got a headline show in King Tut's in the end of February, so I'll be promoting that a lot, and then just hopefully supporting some bigger artists, playing as much as I can and get my name out as much as I can. I think with the release, I'm planning on doing like a couple of releases in a short space of time, and I think just now with Spotify and things like that, and now being verified on Spotify, which I wasn't before, it gives me a lot bigger of a chance to get in playlists and things like that are on Spotify and reach a bigger audience. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that the material I've got is really good, a lot better, not better, just progressed. So I'm really excited. That was a long answer to that.
No, but it sounds as though that's you've got a bit of a plan in place for 2018. Right, now you couldn't not have the fun questions, but so because it's Christmas time, or coming up to Christmas time, we've got a couple of Christmas related ones. Now you are covering a Christmas track every week up until Christmas, and you've already done Fairy Tales of New York. If you could choose a really cheesy track to cover that you aren't going to be covering, what would it be and why?
To be honest, I like most Christmas songs. I love that It's Beginning to Look at That. That's not really cheesy though.
I was expecting you to rock out with the Cheeky Girls or something.
Oh no, that is brutal. I don't really know. I don't really have any. I mean, most of them I think are pretty good. Even cheesy Christmas songs are always good. Always get you in the festive spirit.
Yeah. Although a friend of mine, we've had a conversation about his choice of the Wombles. The Wombling Christmas.
What one is that again?
The Wombling Christmas.
You need to sing it.
I don't know. I wouldn't even listen to it, to be honest. I don't think I ever met an album cut either.
I think I did like the Wombles when I was a kid. So
yeah. So there you go. You could maybe.
I don't even know the
final
song.
Week.
Yeah.
There you go. You can listen to it.
I need to. Yeah.
What would you hope to find in your Christmas stocking?
Honestly, I've for the first year ever, I don't really have anything that I'm asking for or want particularly.
One thing that you could have that maybe you just think that would never ever happen.
A record deal.
A record deal? Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing like, as I said before, it was nothing like. I don't want this huge record. I'm not asking for it. Just like an independent, a small indie label or something like that that you'd be able to release off of, and that would be really nice. But it's for the future.
Yeah, sometime like. Yeah. Closer is one of your tracks.
Yeah.
Who would you, if you could pick anybody to be close to you at Christmas, who would it be? Like if it's sitting next to them for dinner, or snuggling up and watching a Christmas movie.
Will I give like a really depressing answer, or will I give like a...
You can give whatever answer you want.
Are they the fun questions?
They're fun, but you can be depressing, Liam.
I would really... Well, if it's... I would really like to, as depressing as it sounds, have Laura back again, and just get to speak to her again, and just... it's always... It's obviously when people pass away, that's what you might just... sort of daft conversations that you would have and things like that. So I would, that's what I would really like.
That's a lovely answer. That's a depressing answer. That's a lovely, thoughtful answer.
You could pick any sort of famous person or whatever,
but
that's the truth, I suppose. So
that's have Laura. So I Won't Let Go is another one of your tracks. New Year is coming up. New Year's resolutions. What one thing are you letting go of?
Well, I had quit smoking cigarettes for about 6 months ago, and I'm not on them at all, but I'm using the vape thing, and I just think that that's, you're stopping one habit and just picking up another, and it's almost doing more so than you would be smoking. It's definitely not as harmful on your throat and things like that, but I just like to give that up. You've got such a need for it, and I just want to get rid of that, so hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a good call. Right, I did bring cakes. Now, there's a mince pie, there's a salted caramel, and there's a red velvet cupcake.
Okay.
You can choose one, but you have to give a reason why you chose that one.
Okay. Well, it won't be the mince pie.
It won't be the mince pie. No. Why not the mince pie?
Disgusting.
Really?
I never ever liked them, no.
So not the mince pie. So you've got a salted caramel, you've got a red velvet cupcake.
Okay. What one do you want?
Correct answer.
I don't want to take
No, I've already eaten a mince pie.
Right, okay. Maybe the salted caramel.
And why would you choose salted caramel?
Because I read somewhere that the red velvet is like coloured by something that doesn't really appeal to me. I can't remember what. Right. Something not very nice.
So we can put that as a warning.
Yeah, so that could be Caroline's.
Yeah. Can I have the red velvet
you know that one?
Because they're the ingredient in it.
Good.
Well, a huge thank you, Liam. It has been lovely catching up with you. And of course, you're performing at Goth on the 22nd of December. We're having an acoustic Christmas special with Christmas jumpers. So, but that means you have to get another Christmas jumper.
I will do, because this is a bit too short. So I will be, and I'll be singing some of the Christmas songs that I've been putting up on my Facebook.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that. And actually, for people to check out, you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah. Liam Doyle 1994 for most of them. I think Facebook's Liam Doyle 22.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Lovely.
All the. I don't know what I was going to say there.
Thank